What's up, everybody? Solomon here. Hope you all are having a fantastic Monday. If you see any scam ads on this video, please do not participate in those. We always talk about major acquisitions with some of these legacy giants, at least on this channel I try to, and we had two more of those today. We also have an interesting webinar through the IMF coming up about the revitalization or renewal of cross-border payments. Just a lot of news that came out over the past day or two. So I did want to start with this. Many of you in the XRP community may be aware, but DM Logic lost, I believe it was 1 million VeChain due to, I think he was trying to buy a node or purchase a node, and it ended up being, I guess it was called a trust node or something like that, which would allowed purchase of the node itself. Regardless, I don't really get into a lot of things like that. Me personally, I just try to keep it very basic and simple in this space, but it sucks to see somebody losing that amount based on something that they thought that they were acquiring and it being not the case. So this does just go to show any decisions that you make in this space, you are going to be the one that is going to have to own up to whatever the results of those decisions are. I definitely feel bad for DM Logic. He's been in this community for longer than I have, and he's put out quite a bit of good content. But we all need to, make sure that we're doing our due diligence in any decision that we make before we press that button. Because once you send something out into cyberspace, it is gone. And hopefully you pay for what you get, and it behooves us all to just make sure that we do our due diligence and do our research in this space before we sign up for something that we may not have wanted. So again, that sucks for him, but I did want to present that to you all. We should all be definitely researching as much as we possibly can before we get into certain things in this space. So okay, Thai Central Bank issues 1.6 billion in government bonds on IBM blockchain. This is the Bank of Thailand, has issued the world's first blockchain-based government savings bond platform. Within 2 weeks of the launch, the central bank sold more than $1.6 billion worth of savings bonds, as per IBM's official announcement. Now, this is utilizing IBM's blockchain technology. So this was interesting as well. Apparently, this was a webinar. This is Jay Clayton, the SEC chairman. Perhaps all stocks could become blockchain tokens. And then he went in to say, over the past 20 years, or compared to 20 years ago, all stock trading is now electronic. In the past, there were stock certificates. Now there are digital entries. It may very well be the case that those all become tokenized. And you will see a little bit more about tokenization during this presentation as well. This also came out today. This is Contour. This is through Corda R3. Contour enters live production delivering trade finance blockchain network. This is Singapore-based. Contour has entered live production, uniting buyers, suppliers, and banks on a decentralized digital trade finance platform that is open to all geographies and industries, according to IBS Intelligence. Contour's solution delivers a streamlined digital application for trade finance over a distributed ledger technology network, which allows parties to manage their own data while transacting and viewing shared information with their trading partners and service providers. This development and testing was done by over 80 banks and corporates, trials in 17 countries. New and existing users will now start the process of migrating to the live production environment to execute transactions on the Contour network built on R3's Corda technology. And we can see here, this is the initial announcement about this Corda technology through R3, Contour being the backbone of that. And this is Bangkok Bank, BNP Paribas, CTBC Holding, HSBC, ING, NatWest, SEB, Standard Chartered. So there's some big names in there. Speaking of Standard Chartered, they did just release, they had an interview here inside Standard Chartered Bank's digital transformation. This is Alan Chu, Executive Director and Head of Technology Digital Channels at Standard Chartered Bank, talks transformation, survival, and success. And I talk about this all the time, that these banking institutions are at a minimum future-proofing via integration with distributed ledger technology and blockchain for survival purposes, because they know what's coming. And Blockchain companies, DLT companies will eat their lunch if they do not prepare and they are not integrated into these open networks. And it's all about interoperability. We all know that Standard Chartered, as a seed investor of Ripple, sits on the global payments, or the GPSG, the steering group. Also, Standard Chartered enables RippleNet access through Standard Chartered's Access platform and Straight to Bank platform. We also know that Standard Chartered is very much so tied into Alipay, a subsidiary of, Ant and Alibaba, which is gigantic. We just saw Standard Chartered is tied into this Contour project through R3. So what do you think is going on here? All right, IMF. There's an IMF conference. I believe it's in about a week or two. Okay, yeah, October 19th, 2020, cross-border payments, a new beginning. Now, some of these panel members are very interesting. Now, this is directly through the IMF. This is Cross-Border Payments, a Vision for the Future. It's a high-level policymaker panel. And sitting on this panel, Governor of the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, General Manager of the Bank for International Settlements, Chair of the Federal Reserve, Governor of the Central Bank of Malaysia. Now, there's a cross-border payments private sector portion of this as well. Interestingly enough, we see Danelle Dixon, CEO of Stellar. So, and just as a disclaimer, I do hold a little bit of XLM Stellar. I don't have nearly as much as I do XRP. None of this is financial advice. But again, I think most of you that listen and watch my channel realize that I diversify, and I'm not trying to miss out on a potential winning horse, because I do believe that there is going to be many of them. Also, CEO of eCurrency, Senior VP of MasterCard, Ancello, or Cello, however you pronounce it. I mean, this is a huge panel, everybody. I very much so plan on watching this if I have enough time. My work schedule's been crazy lately, but just pay attention to this. I post all the links from every video, or at least I try to Patreon. But this is a no-brainer. You can just go to imf.org and find this seminar here. So again, October 18th or October 19th. Okay, now here, getting into acquisitions here. This is NEC. NEC is a giant Japanese technology firm, okay? They just acquired Swiss fintech Avaloq Group for $2.2 billion, okay? Now, we're going to see who NEC's tied into, and we're going to see what Avaloq's actually been doing as well, okay? Here's what Avaloq is talking about here, and if you don't think that this has to do with blockchain, I am sure that it does. Creating new solutions that combine Avaloq software with NEC's cutting-edge technologies. They talk about it right here in the acquisition announcement. Now, these Avaloq software, I'm curious what's built into their software. Well, this is directly from Avaloq's website. Blockchain, it's already here. Stay ahead of client demands with the latest technology. Innovate with tokenization. Leverage tomorrow's technology today. Deliver diversification to clients. Full crypto peace of mind. We see a clear path for developing crypto assets and blockchain solutions. Enabling financial solutions to offer crypto assets. We all see where this is going. It's in front of our faces every day. All you got to do is, I mean, even the days that there's not an exact announcement that deals in crypto, a lot of it can be tied to the fintech revolution that's going on across the board here. Everybody's trying to get a slice of the pie or maintain their slice of the pie. Integrate crypto and blockchain into your existing setup directly through Avaloq here. Prioritize security, a clear blockchain roadmap. Now, this is an interesting quote. I'll go over that in a minute here. But they have integrated distributed ledger technology and crypto assets into their existing platform. This is Avaloq's existing platform to make it easier to adopt. Avaloq provides banking software to multiple banks. Future-proof your business with the Avaloq Core platform. The Avaloq Core platform is proven in the day-to-day operations of more than 150 banks and wealth managers around the world. Pretty clear, cut and dry what's going on, people. So, and now they're talking about integrating crypto assets into wealth management. They've got a white paper about that as well. So again, they were acquired by NEC. Interestingly enough, NEC has tie-ins with the SBI Group in Japan as well. They did a 2017 proof of concept that utilized blockchain technology in cooperation with 14 financial institutions. Establishment of the Securities Consortium, 35 institutions. Establishment of a joint venture, SBI DigiTrust. What does that sound like? Establishment of a joint venture with NEC to provide services such as Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering / CFT or counterfeit for financial institutions and other companies. SBI DigiTrust. 6% investment by SBI Security Solutions, 34% through NEC. We can see what the service offerings are through SBI Group. MoneyTap, which just so happens to run on Ripple. SBI Remit, Sumshin Net Bank, you get it, right? Non-SBI companies, service offerings. It's interesting to see all these tie-ins and where this is all going. NEC has also trialed RippleNet in the past. Ripple Asia trials bank transfers between Japan and South Korea utilizing distributed ledger technology. This venture is also planning a program commencing in October 2017 to train engineers from around 20 companies in blockchain and cryptocurrency technologies. Companies involved in this program include Nomura Research Institute, which I believe I've seen on SBI's investor presentations as well, Topan Printing, and NEC. All right, another acquisition announcement here. This is a big one. Europe's Nexi agrees to acquire SIA for almost $5.4 billion in stock. This is Nexi SPA agreed late Sunday to acquire crosstown fintech rival SIA SPA for about 4.6 billion. What is that, euro? I don't even know what. I think that might be euros, but I don't think so. Equivalent to almost $5.4 billion USD. In a stock deal that creates a European giant in the fast consolidating payment sector. Now, who is SIA tied in with? We do know that SIA is blockchain/DLT enabled with multiple different platforms, including Corda, Ethereum, Ripple, Hyperledger Fabric, etc. We can see it right here. Now, initially, I don't believe that crypto is involved in this, but we all know where this goes, right? And interestingly enough here as well, this isn't going to pop up now. SIA is integrated as well with Quant, and we know that Quant is a digital asset. Quant Network's Overledger technology is integrated into the SIA chain private blockchain infrastructure to enable cross-platform applications and services in Europe as well as globally. So this does not directly talk about the Quant coin. But, take everything with a grain of salt. We know that SIA had announced previously that they're not utilizing crypto, or at least they weren't going to. But that's all of that rhetoric shifts once all these institutions are ready and once we have regulatory clarity. That's just my opinion, though. Do not take that as advice. Now, we do know that Nexi is acquiring this department of SIA, though, correct? And we can see right here, October 9th, 2019. Nexi put out this document that was entitled Cleansing Statement. And this talks about the cannibalization of traditional value chains because digital payments and blockchain are going to take over. In the long term, the evolution of blockchain, this is directly through Nexi here. In the long term, the evolution of blockchain and distributed ledger technology could lead to the growth of new payment technologies, also able to disintermediate part of the value chain of payment cards. For example, we know payment cards are, the ACH network, right? Like Visa, etc. For example, through the use of dedicated cryptocurrencies, so-called stablecoins, now essentially used for international payments. And that gives a, for example, Ripple. So Nexi is making moves because they don't want to be the ones that are getting eaten alive, right? Okay. U.S. new bill would legalize or legally recognize digital signatures on a blockchain. This isn't overly big to me because this is where everything goes anyways. And then last but not least, Deloitte Digital, talking about the most common areas of fintech partnerships are payments and authorization. If you're not aware, Deloitte was part of the trial into Temenos integration of RippleNet. And that was also done via a company called Bluezell. So Deloitte is very much so tied into blockchain. But we can see here, right here, the most common areas of fintech partnerships are payments and authorization. Percent of banks with fintech partnerships by area. I didn't see by area, but this is data for 313 out of 318 banks participating in this 2020 edition. And this is blockchain. And is this just lending blockchain? It looks like it. I think it's blockchain, but it may be wealth management lending and then blockchain, or it may be lending blockchain. I'm assuming it's just blockchain. It looks like it's right about, if I had to guess, probably about 40%. 40% of banks are dealing in fintech partnerships with blockchain right now. I think that would be a little bit bigger, but who knows? All right, now I want to leave you with this because I think this is a A very interesting quote, okay? This is through Ginny Rometty, executive chairman of IBM. And this is on that, right on that Avaloq website, saying that blockchain is here, that talked about tokenization, and DLT solutions already integrated into Avaloq's core platform. Okay, this is, if you understood in 1995 the opportunities and threats that the internet would ultimately present to your company or industry, what would you have done differently? That is where we are at with blockchain today. And again, we're going to see regulatory clarity, and then utility is going to flourish. That is my God's honest belief. I do think that utility takes over once regulations are clear. And once all these institutions have all of the acquisitions, all of these rails that they want to build out so that they can survive. I mean, all of these legacy institutions have so much money, so much old money. And do you think that they have a say as far as how regulations move? I would guess so, just like they have a say in almost everything else. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, have a great evening. And again, please research, do your own due diligence as far as anything that you look into in this space, anything that you personally invest in, any moves that you want to make. There are so many mistakes that we can make in this space. We all just need to be very cognizant of the decisions that we're making. Don't take anybody else's word for it. You can use them as an information piece to try to lead you in the right direction. But ultimately, the decisions that we make in this space are going to be ours and ours alone. So, all right, have a good night. Later.